lost you one. Will there ever be a second time around? Oh, when the tears are over and the moment has come, say, my Lord, I think I found someone.
Season 1, Episode 10, Mixed Messages, aired November 29th, 1991, with a total of 17.6 million views. Brennan, Al, Mark, and JT are helping set the table for dinner while Carol is preparing the meal. Frank walks into the house, and Brennan is excited to see him. Frank asks what's for dinner, and Brennan explains that the meatloaf looks good, but Carol's trying to feed them some green stuff again. Frank then asks Carol if Mr. Kramer has called, and Carol says not yet. Frank starts to worry that Kramer chose someone else for the job. Al overhears and asks if the job is a big one. Frank explains they'll be restoring an apartment building downtown, a project that means prestige and a lot of money. Karen and Dana walk in, and JT tells Karen someone called for her. Karen gets super excited, asking if it was Bobby. JT teases her by saying yes, then maybe Steve, but he can't remember. Karen gets upset. Carol steps in and says they really don't have a proper way of taking messages. Mark suggests getting an answering machine, which Carol agrees with since she has one in her salon and it's a lifesaver. But Frank doesn't like the idea. He thinks answering machines aren't personal. Mark then jokingly suggests making JT the message taker, which convinces Frank to agree to the machine. Later, Cody and JT are in the living room while Cody plays his guitar. Dana walks downstairs, and Cody asks if she wants to watch 101 Dalmatians with him, complete with popcorn, nachos, and counting all the dogs. Dana declines, saying she has a date. Cody, even though they aren't in a relationship, feels like Dana is cheating on him. Dana sharply explains that even if the sun burned everything to the ground, and Cody was the last person on earth, she still wouldn't date him. Cody doesn't quite get it, and says of course not, there'd be nowhere to go on the date. Dana walks away, wondering why he's so clueless. Cody thinks it's a test of love. JT tells Cody that Dana likes clean-cut, smart guys, not ones who work dirty jobs. Cody decides he needs to change his image and goes off to his van to think deeply about who he should become. In the kitchen, Carol, Frank, Mark, Al, and Penny are setting up the new answering machine. Al records the first message and makes it clear she prefers the Lamberts over the Fosters. Frank shuts that down, saying they need a real message. Penny wants to try next, even though she doesn't live there. Carol lets her, but Penny's message turns a bit inappropriate, so Carol stops her. Then Carol tries, but hers is too long and rambling. Finally, Mark steps in and nails it with a short-to-the-point message. Leave a message. The next day, Karen asks Carol if Bobby called. Carol checks her long list of boys who called for Karen, but finds no Bobby. Karen is disappointed and storms off. Frank then comes home and excitedly tells Carol that Kramer told him he got the job. He starts at 9 the next morning. Carol is thrilled, and they kiss. Carol's mom, Ivy, sees them and reminisces about her own romantic days. Penny is grossed out when Ivy implies the man wasn't her father. That night, JT sees Cody dressed in a full suit. Cody explains this is his new image. When Dana walks in, Cody brags about his job stocking vending machines at the mall. Meanwhile, Karen is alone in the kitchen and finally hears a message from Bobby inviting her to meet him at the mall. As she checks herself in the mirror, she misses a second message. It's Kramer calling to say the building has a cracked foundation, the job is off, and a demolition crew is taking over. The next morning, Cody shows Carol his suit before leaving for work. Frank rushes in, running late, still unaware of the second message. At the apartment building, Frank looks for Kramer, and suddenly a wrecking ball crashes through the wall. Frank barely escapes, and then grabs onto the ball and is swinging through the open wall. Back home, Carol's cutting Brennan's hair when Cody walks in. He explains he got fired for putting good prizes in the vending machine instead of the junk they were supposed to distribute. Carol tells him she thinks he did the right thing. Cody admits he only took the job to impress Dana and now worries what she'll think. Just then, Frank arrives home dirty and furious. When Carol wonders why Kramer didn't call, Frank yells, "He did, and supposedly left a message." In frustration, he destroys the answering machine with a rolling pin. Karen walks in, sees the broken machine, and worries what will happen if Bobby calls again. Carol asks if she remembers another message after Bobby's. Karen vaguely recalls something about the foundation cracks, and once Frank says Kramer, she puts it together. Carol explains Frank never got the message and nearly died. Karen is relieved he's okay, but still grounded and has her phone privileges taken away. That night, Carol tells Dana that Cody has been locked in his van for 2 days. Dana doesn't care, but Carol explains that Cody is hurt because he was trying to impress her. Dana insists it's not her fault Cody lost his job. Carol pushes back, telling her that Cody thought dressing up and working a regular job would win Dana over. Finally, Dana agrees to talk to him. Cody is still in his van when Dana knocks. He gets so excited he hits his head trying to open the door. Dana tells him she's sorry he lost his job, but he's not a loser. Not many people would prioritize kids' happiness over money. She reminds him he already had a job with Frank, and she hears he's great at it. She tells him nothing he does could change how she feels about him. Back inside, Karen stares at the phone she can't use. She awkwardly apologizes to Frank, who accepts it. But she's even more upset when the phone rings and she can't answer it, leaving her stuck watching Frank take the call. Later, Frank tells Carol that even though the apartment building was torn down, Kramer now wants to build 12 condominiums, and Frank's going to be the builder. Carol is thrilled. Frank notices something new by the phone, and Carol shows him the new answering machine setup. Now, once someone hears a message, they'll write it down and pin it under the person's name on the board.